Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sino-Japan Future Ocean Sustainability Trends and Practice Summit. I'm Amanda Liang from Shero Initiative, and I will be your moderator for today's exciting and thought-provoking sessions. This summit is jointly brought to you by Saraya, ZERI Japan, Shero Initiative, and Formula Consulting. As part of our shared commitment to explore sustainable paths forward to our oceans, as the challenges facing our marine environments grow more complex, so too must our solutions. And this summit is all about sharing knowledges, building bridges, and sparking innovation. Throughout the day, we'll hear from leading minds in academia and the corporate world. Each session offers a fresh and perspective on envisioning a healthier, more sustainable ocean future, covering topics from oyster restoration to cutting-edge wastewater solutions. Let's begin our day with keynote speech about an incredible story of the Oyster Save Our Seas project, also known as Oyster SOS project, a project dedicated to restoring marine biodiversity and promoting a healthy harbor through oyster reef regeneration. Please join me in welcoming Professor Kenneth Mei Yi, Chair Professor at the Department of Chemistry at City University of Hong Kong, Chairman of the Hong Kong Marine Ecological Association, and Director of State Key Laboratory of Marine Environmental Health at City University of Hong Kong, for our first keynote speech. Welcome.
So, how are you today? Good morning. Before I start, I would like to thank Shero Initiative and also Saraya company for their invitation. I'm very honored and very happy to be here to share our story in this really beautiful, magnificent Blue Ocean Dome. Why in Hong Kong? Hong Kong really tiny on the map, just one dot in the map. However, we have 6,000 marine species that cover 25% of all marine species in mainland China, in whole China. So we are small, but we are great in terms of marine biodiversity. So marine conservation is at our heart in Hong Kong. So today I'm going to share 4 elements in my talk. First, I will address how and why oysters are so important in the marine environment. And then I will introduce our project, Oyster SOS, to you. Third, I will touch on our further development of our project. And then at the end, I'm going to show you a short video showcasing our work. Let's start. Are you ready? Oh, good. First question, why oyster? Why oysters are so important to our environment? So I try to convince you that there are at least 4 ecosystem services provided by our oysters. Do you like to eat oyster? Yes, they are tasty. They can turn into soy sauce. Oyster, not just a food item for us, but also they serve food for many other marine organisms. When they are small, there's a small crab and predator snail will feed on them. When they become large, big crabs, we like them. So they are very important element or partners inside the food web for the ocean. At the same time, because of this, their cell is very unique because they compose of calcium carbonate. So, you know, in the ocean, many marine life, they need to form their own shell. That means they require calcium. So calcium carbonate is very important and limited in the ocean. So if you have the shell, many shell-forming organisms will swim and then sit on it, and then they will really like this environment. At the same time, we have an irregular shape of this shell. Then also when they put together, there is some crevices and holes, then the animal can hide away from the predator. So these are literally really amazing ecosystem. Let's take a look, something moving in this video. Can you find something moving? These are two capella amphipods. They represent very clean water, then they can go on it. Then on top, those like plant species, they are not plant. They call biozoan. Actually, they are animal. They are filter feeder as well. Then you can see those as like a donut, they are the tube worms. So if you deploy the shell in the harbor for 3 months, you will find at least 20 to 30 species going on it. So if you take a closer look, we will find some animals going on the shell, like this predator snail. They like to eat oyster. It's called dog whelk, okay? And then you can find the limpet. Limpet like to feed on the biofilm. It means the surface of the shell. Inside the shell, they will go with a biofilm like microalgae and bacteria. They like to feed on them. And then you see those oyster baby, when they were young, look like this with lots of tube coming out, okay? That will become the edge in the future. Then we find many different species of crabs, like at least 10 different species of crab you can see in the oyster shell. So we ask the question whether the oyster shell or live oyster can enhance biodiversity. So we've done an experiment. So we put this stainless steel cage in our harbor, and then in each cage, we put beds of live oyster and beds of oyster shell. Then we monitor them in terms of biodiversity for 2 years. So as you can see, after 1 year, the whole basket just full of marine life. Then you can see many different bivalves, the clams. This is called nudibranch, or we call it sea sludge, the snail without shell, okay? And then we can see various kind of crabs, and also these are the back mussels, septifer, and also we can see many different types of snail. Those snails can eat just plant or biofilm, and also some of them are predator. Then you can see even we find some corals, soft coral species, and also the green mussels. And then many species lay their eggs in the system. So it's a really vibrant biodiverse system just after 1 year. Let's see the result. After 18 months, we found more than 110 species just after 18 months inside the basket. Just on the live oyster, 75 species. In the shell, 67 species. The result just amazing. So if we do nothing, the harbor, just the boulder, the artificial shoreline, not much life, only 20 species. After we putting, 36 species in the control. After we put this basket, from 36 jump to 110. So it's almost 3 times more, just 18 months. So proven that deployment of oyster and oyster shell will promote biodiversity. Okay, then what benefit we can get after we having many species? Before this, I will say, this cage looks really ugly because artificial, it's not natural. So the next experiment, we try to remove the cage, only the oyster shell. So we build this oyster reef by many strings of oyster shell, put 2 layers, just 2 layers of this, and then put in the harbor for 12 months. Then what we find, this is a control about, because we put in a typhoon shelter, polluted environment, we only find about 6 to 7 species on the rock, okay? But we found 45 species altogether in 1 year. That is a big jump by 4.5 times more species we found on this oyster shell reef. So oyster shell is cheap, almost nothing. You have to pay for the logistic. We work with some restaurant like Oyster Bars. They're willing to donate the shell to us. Then we gather them in an open area, let them dry under the sun. The bacteria eat up the protein. After a few months, we can use them to deploy for biodiversity enhancement. Now, so far we learned that oysters have 2 good functions. One, serve as a food to us and for other marine life. Second, they can create the habitat to enhance biodiversity. Now, more importantly, because they are filter feeder, what does it mean? They eat the suspended organic particle in the water. They pump the water, go through their mouth, and then they will sort out those eatable ones, and then not eatable ones just remove. So this is called biofiltration. Through this process, they can remove a lot of organic matter and a lot of pollutants as well. So I just show you one experiment with you. In this tank, same volume of water, one with oyster, one without. Let's see what happened. We put the same amount of microalgae representing the organic matter in the system. Then you see, look at the time. It's just half an hour, you see the difference coming up. Then closer to 1 hour, you can see crystal clean water. Then I call this is a lateral water purifiers. Why? Because each of them can filter up to 30 liters of water per hour. It's amazing. Imagine in the past, in our harbor, we don't find them. But now we put them back. In the whole harbor, like 100 kilometers, full of them. They can purify the harbor water twice per day, being so. That's amazing. Then the water become clean and make the environment better. Other fish, marine life can come back. People can enjoy swimming. So because of the various problems like overdevelopment in the coastal line and also pollution and over-harvesting of this oyster in the past, we couldn't have this kind of function. Imagine, we just try our effort, everyone put a string of shell like this into harbor. In Osaka, we have 10 million people. We put 10 million string. You will see the change of water quality after 1 year. And then promotion of biodiversity immediately. So this will benefit to the whole world, not just Hong Kong. We just use Hong Kong as an experimental site. So finally, if you have lateral oyster reef like this in our deep bay, they can also attenuate wave action. When there is a typhoon storm, they can actually attenuate the wave action and protect our shoreline from those wave actions disaster. So in summary, oyster really good because they can serve as a food for us and for other marine life, and also they create the habitat to promote marine biodiversity. Different species serve different functions in the ecosystem. At the same time, they can purify the water for us, and they can protect our shoreline from wave action. So we learned these 4 important benefits we can get from our oysters. So later on, I'll ask you again, what are the benefits? You need to tell me the answer. Okay, now move on the next topic about our Oyster SOS project. Around the world, we are facing really negative story. Originally, we have many oyster reef in our coastal area, but over the last century, we lost 85%. Same amount we lost for the coral reef as well. So today I want to tell you that there is a slogan called 1/3, 30%, 33%, 1/3. Our ocean facing 1/3 of losing biodiversity, including 1/3 marine mammals being lost, and then 1/3 sharks and the whale species, those with cartilage species, foregone. And then we also have 1/3 of the fishing ground being overfished. No more fish in those areas. So we are facing a big problem. If we do nothing, the ecosystem will go further downward. We keep losing biodiversity. Now, we know that we can do something. We should bring back the oyster reef, bring back the oyster ecosystem to our ocean. So in 2014, there was a big movement in New York. This is a very famous project called Billion Oyster Project. In 2014, a group of students from the New York Harbor School. Harbor School is interesting because they train students to drive boats, they train students to do aquaculture. Those students listened to a lecture that in New York 100 years ago, their snacks or their comfort food, actually oyster, in the street, they sell all the oyster snacks, like barbecue oyster, dry oyster, and so forth. Then at that time, being over harvest, many oysters being taken away from the ocean, and then at the same time, coastal development, reclamation, pollution, and then causing the collapse of the oyster reef in New York. So the students were very simple. We respond to the teacher, why not we bring them back? It's like this. Why not we bring them back? Then the teacher was, he is a family, he has a family, actually his father is an oyster farmer. Then he said, oh, I should talk to my daddy. And then he invites his daddy come to the lecture and talk to the student. Then they start thinking about how to bring the oyster back to New York Harbor. So they patched this project, they got government funding, $7 million from the National Science Foundation. Then they mobilized 70 schools in New York to get involved as a volunteer like this. They deploy the oyster shell, back into the harbor. So far, they already done 150 million oyster deployment so far, but they already seen great improvement in water quality and increase of biodiversity. They also seeing the return of the whales and green turtles coming back. It's news headline. Why the project is so successful? They didn't invite any celebrity, Hollywood star to promote. They only invite the school kids to tell the story. What they feel about this project, they found that they can help to improve the environment, empower them, become the pioneers to save the ocean. And then they tell the story to their parents. Their parents also join the team for this restoration effort. So I was really touched by this project. So I wrote an email to the founder. It's called Mui Fisher. Then in 2019, I invited him to fly to Hong Kong and tell us how to do the oyster restoration with citizen scientist effort. So he came. I was over the moon because he is my idol. How can he mobilize so many people doing this really meaningful project? So I showed them the oyster in Hong Kong. Then he spent 2 days to talk to us and different stakeholders about his vision and mission and how to do this restoration. So afterward, then I talked to many people who love the ocean, including Clayman and Winston. They are the leaders in our society. We also talked to the headmaster of different schools in Hong Kong, and also religious leader and academic professor from university. 24 people of us, we come together and form this Hong Kong Marine Ecological Association. We have an aim. We try to do restoration to create biologically diverse and sustainable environments for all of us. So, of course, the Oyster SOS is our main project. We want to create better ecosystem, cleaner harbor through deployment of oyster and oyster shells. So we launched this project. Unluckily, due to the COVID, we could do nothing during COVID time. Right after the COVID, we launched this project in 2023 with support from the government, various stakeholders. Then we launched the project together. So what we're doing 4 things. First, of course, we do the restoration by deploying the oyster shelf into our harbor. We have to do research. Where is the best location to put the oyster? Because oyster, they are very choosy in the environment. They like brackish water. It means not too salty, but not too fresh. They like brackish water, like the salinity around 10 to 15 is the most suitable. They also need nutrients. We need to find the area with lots of microalgae, organic matter, so that they can grow well. At the same time, after the deployment, we will study the effectiveness of the project. We will monitor the biodiversity over time, and then we also record those species as an education to tell the kids, this is starfish, this is a dragon, and so forth. We would introduce to them through the education effort. Finally, we also engage our stakeholders for their support and for funding as well. So I just show you one example. Last 2 years, we finished this sub-project. It's called Oyster Shell Hotel. We have to give a good name. We put the oyster shell into our harbor, then we call them Oyster Shell Hotel, okay? So in this project, we have 2 aims. One, to restore the ecosystem to increase biodiversity on man-made seawall, okay, sloping seawall, and also educate the public about marine conservation and also how important to restore the oyster reef in the ocean. So what we do during this kind of workshop, first thing, we will give a talk like today, maybe half an hour seminar. Then the children and their parents, teachers will learn a great deal from the lecture, motivate them to take part in this restoration effort. After that, the most exciting part, they have to drill hole on the shell and then make a collar of shell by themselves. Most children, actually, they enjoy this part really very much. After that, we will deploy the shell into the harbor, okay? Finally, because just one day, they cannot see the change over time, but we already put the oyster shell for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. Then we take them out. They can see what happened if they come back in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months' time. They will be amazed, very happy to see the result. So let's see some picture. We gave a lecture like this, and then after that, they will have a chance to make their own collar. They can put their name also in the future. They can see how many organisms live on the shell. You see, they are very happy. But most exciting part is the deployment. Once they finish, they will bring them to the harbor and put it down. they are very happy because they know that they contribute positively to conserve the biodiversity and doing good for the ocean. The baby oyster can filter the water for the ocean. So this is kind of very, very touching message. You can see the mother and the son so happy. This is something we want to see. Afterward, we will bring up the oyster shell already been there for different time. Then the children start to investigate what kind of species. We provide the species chart. They can actually learn many different species on the day. I just show you some example. This one we deploy in the harbor. After 3 months, they already seen different marine life fish, some spongy and tube worm and so forth. But after 9 months, they even see much more life after 9 months. But you know what? The children just amazed. Wow, I never seen this in my life. What are they? You know? Because in the past, they just saw Hong Kong as a harbor for the ship. Maybe occasionally they see people fishing, maybe 1 or 2 species, like the webbed fish like manyu, ni manyu. So they thought ocean has nothing. But instead now they realize, wow, 50, 100 species they never seen in their life. You know what message they can get? They understand that the ocean full of life. Now they can contribute to improve it. They feel like I can do something better. I can change the world with our effort. This is really, really touching moment. Every time after the seminar, we feel we are doing the right thing. So we also deploy the collar into those artificial shoreline. Then after 3 months, you can see many snail and also the sea anemone, bivalve, full of life, just 3 months. And then we compare 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Blue one is the boulder, just the rock, okay, on the artificial shoreline. The collar, we always see consistently much more species. It's like jumping from 10 to 17. That means 70% increase just within 9 months. But we see further up, you can see further up, if you put it longer, you will see even more species. So this is very good news. We can actually enhance biodiversity just deploying oyster shells. Do you like it? Good. So finally, it's about future development of our project. Why we have a religious leader in our association? Because of this, many Buddhism and also Taoist believer, they like to release animal into our ocean on regular basis in China and also in Southeast Asia, because they felt that if they release the life back to the ocean, they will gain blessing. They will become God sooner or later. So that's what they're thinking. However, there have been a lot of problems in this practice. For example, people will release freshwater fish into the ocean. Of course, they die. But most horrible is this one. You see the crabs in a bucket with the string, they couldn't move. They pulled the whole bucket, 100 crabs into the sea. What happened? They cannot move, they cannot eat, they will die. And more often, people will release this kind of predatory fish, like this one actually is a sea bass from South America. It's called star sea bass. They can go up to 1 meter, just 1 year. They are top predator. They kill local species, they replace the predator in our ocean, causing big disaster. So what I'm saying here, the mercy release right now becoming horrible killing. That is not good. So then I spent time to talk to the Buddhism leader and also Taoist leader. they go back to the doctrine, their Bible. They say that the principle of mercy release should and must save life, protect life. Okay, imagine if I could not swimming, I cannot swim, I drown. Someone give me a tube like this, save my life. It's a mercy relief already. So, in fact, the deployment of oyster shell, just like this tube, to save many ocean life, many marine life, this is what the true meaning of mercy relief. So, in that sense that once you build a community, more life to enjoy the community even greater. Imagine saving one human life is very important. We save one life with disease, we cure them, we feel very good. But in Buddhism, man just like an insect, is equal. Imagine we deploy millions of shells, we save 100 millions of lives. That is a great achievement. You will get even more blessing, become Buddha quicker. So this is our message to talk to the religious leader. Now we start this kind of project to promote more eco-friendly mercy release for people. So this is a future development. Then another development is that, you know what? These oyster cells composed of calcium carbonate with C. That means the carbon actually embed into the shell. We can fix carbon. Many people think we have to go plant, we have to do seaweed culture. No need. This already fixed the carbon. It's good for the ESG reporting. At the same time, we can tell you that how many species you gain over the year. You can do ESG reporting. Right now, we're talking to many big corporations to work together through this effort. They pay for the deployment, we provide them the data, they can report for the ESG and environmental performance. This is a win-win situation, people love it. I hope maybe we can join hands in Japan to do the same thing as well. So finally, I have to say, during this project, I feel very happy. I'm doing something right for the ocean. We're not just improving the water quality and biodiversity. In actual fact, we turn people from doing nothing to the ocean. Now they become alliance to protect our ocean. So before I end, I want to show you a video. It's better to see the real things while I'm talking. So let's see the video together. Please enjoy.
作為一個擁有263個島嘅沿岸城市，海洋對香港嚟講十分重要。喺幾十年嘅開發同埋污染，我哋嘅海洋有好多唔同嘅問題。
人工嘅海堤咧，一般佢嗰個結構咧都比較簡單嘅。當夏天嘅時候咧，退潮啦，啲生物咧就暴露喺空氣嘅時候就太熱咧，佢哋冇地方去躲避，同埋咧亦都冇一啲遮陰儲水嘅地方咧，令到個溫度可以降低。咁所以咧，一般嚟講，呢啲人工海堤上面嘅生物多樣性咧，都係往往比天然岩網較低嘅。咁因此咧，我哋要將人工海堤生態化咧，就必須要咧俾呢啲海洋生物咧提供一個合適嘅居所。
Currently, our soft ecological engineering approach uses natural components to promote the restoration of biodiversity because the natural complexity of these shells can provide various microhabitats for different types of marine species.
我哋使用蠔殼，除咗係因為佢係一個環保嘅物料，比較天然同埋具經濟效益之外咧，係因為蠔殼嘅表面咧有好多凹凸嘅佢好粗糙嘅表面，可以俾到海洋生物咧喺裏邊可以去居住啦，有一個棲身之所嘅，防止佢哋俾捕食者去捕獵啦，或者係防止佢哋咧喺低潮嘅時候咧去捕曬嘅。
因為蠔殼嘅表面同埋之間嘅罅隙可以吸引好多細小嘅海洋生物聚居，然後佢哋逐步去建立一層層嘅食物鏈以及生態系統。
蠔同埋其他雙貝類，譬如青口咁樣，佢哋進食嘅時候咧，都可以幫我哋過濾海水，幫我哋淨化我哋嘅海洋。我哋通過舉辦唔同嘅工作坊同埋實地考察，等大眾有機會可以親身參與海洋復修嘅工作。
聽完老師講啦，佢哋有啲理論課啦，咁然之後再有我哋嘅小朋友一齊鑽蠔殼啊，去實踐製作一啲蠔村。
海洋入面嘅生物多樣性下降，咁我哋穿咗呢個蠔殼就可以為嗰啲海洋生物提供一個居住嘅地方，咁就可以提供呢個海洋生物嘅多樣性。
Furthermore, the oyster feature we have deployed already on the field will help us to understand how to improve our restoration effort.
我哋頭先呢就去咗睇翻舊嗰啲蠔殼係擺咗喺海嘅。
即係居然冇諗到一個咁細嘅環境可以混雜到咁多唔同品種嘅小動物。
我哋入邊係見到石蠔、螺旋蟲屬。我首先睇到有文騰湖、小上手蟹。
我覺得今日呢個活動都好有意義，因為可以俾小朋友親身去掂到嗰啲實物。比起喺學校學，可能會更加入腦，更加深印象。
我哋譬如喺課堂當中咧，都會講嗰啲嘅海岸嘅保護措施。喺嚟到呢度嘅地方咧，我哋可能有個細規模，俾學生咧嗰個蠔殼裏面發掘一啲新嘅生物啦。咁其實咧，佢哋咧都好開心、好雀躍嘅。呢個心情咧，其實喺平時可能喺課堂當中咧，可能未必咁容易去掌握到啦。
如果學校將來都有多啲機會俾小朋友再掂下，我覺得對佢哋將來去點樣去再保育呢一個多樣性生物，咁啊會更加好。即係呢個香港呢個海洋都係大家嘅，大家都要出一分力咯。小朋友就從小開始學啦，未來嘅社會都係屬於佢哋，係啦。
In the future, we wish to engage more people from different age group and social backgrounds.
當中包括有學者、豪民、漁民、
各個相關政府部門、學校、非政府機構，
而喺過程中會結合科研、教育
同埋公眾參與，
一齊去實踐我哋嘅目標，
一齊為一個擁有豐富生物多樣性同埋可永續性嘅海洋環境共同努力。So finally, I want to say one story. The children joined the project. At one time, they say, "Oh, really nice to learn many different species associated with the oyster shell." But she also mentioned that when she looked at the animals, she also found many microplastic. She started worrying. She asked, "How can we do more to remove the plastic?" They learned by themselves. I was really touched. They realized we face many other problems challenging in our ocean. So I want to close my talk with a quote from Sir David Attenborough, a very famous narrator for the natural history in UK. Then he said, in his lifetime, he witnessed many decline, means disaster in our environment. But what he believed, he said, in our time, we could and should witness beautiful recovery for our environment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Leung, for your deeply engaging presentation. It's amazing how humble oyster can do so much, filtering water, building habitats, and offering hope for ecosystems under pressure. Also, it is worth mentioning that the oyster in Chinese has the similar pronunciation as the Chinese word 好, which means good, as today we had a good start and a good day. Cooperation plays a pivotal role not only in generating economic benefits, but also as key actors impacting our social, environmental, and ecological systems. As Chinese companies grow and expand into overseas markets, numerous stakeholders, including regulators, customers, and NGOs, increasingly expect them to deliver not just economic returns, but also actively protect the environment that we share. Today, we are privileged to welcome Ms. Freya Mai Zhiyang, Deputy Chairwoman of Shero Initiative and Editor-in-Chief of the popular Hello ESG column at NetEase. She will share valuable insights into how Chinese enterprises are advancing sustainability, particularly concerning ocean conservation. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Mai. Welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm Freya, the Chief Editor of NetEase Hello ESG column, and also the VP of Shero, today's co-hoster, Shero Initiative. And let me begin with expressing my sincerely gratitude for Celia and also Formula Consulting for these incredible opportunities to the export to share our topics. And today my topic is about Chinese companies' contributions to sustainable ocean development. Let me take some time to briefly introduce NetEase and also Hello ESG column. NetEase, which is listed in Nasdaq and also Hong Kong Exchange, is a leading internet and game service provider centered around premium content. It also built its business in Japan, and with extensive offering quality service such as news and Youdao e-dictionary, which is listed in Nasdaq, and cloud music, which listed in Hong Kong Exchange, email, and the company covered over 1 billion users across China, also over millions users in Japan. And there are some tags representing NetEase, including one of the China's largest internet companies and China's leading mobile news and internet media platform, China's largest email service provider, and a global leading game development and distribution company. And any one of you play the Identify 5 in Japan? It's very famous in Japan. This game is from NetEase Games. And also, it covers over 1 billion users across China and millions users in Japan. And of course, we are talking about the future ocean sustainability trends and practice. Therefore, we need to mention something about NetEase ESG performance. Actually, in MSCI rating, NetEase got an A. And in 2023, and also 47 grades in the DJSI ratings, and also 18.1 in the sustainability ratings. Just all right. And to explore 100 ESG practice and also funds, NetEase News launched Hello ESG column, with the Shero Initiative, which is the first column in China focusing on the ESG solutions, ESG practice. We joined the cost sector leaders to collaborate on actionable ESG solutions. And over time, it becomes an important window for industry and public to understand the ESG practice, also a trusted ESG voice in China. Our interviewer is from, most of them are entrepreneurs, and some of them are scholars, like the Professor Leung, and also the investment institutions. In the column Daily Running, we actually keep interviewing and then learning from the participations across sectors. We hope that empower organizations and the individuals to turn the sustainability insights into the real meaningful actions. Together, we aim to drive the collective actions for sustainable development and also the global challenges. Here we can see the sponsor of Blue Ocean Dome, Salaya, and also we are honored to invite Salaya to share their ESG insights. And yesterday, Mr. Salaya also shared his insights of SDGs and why and how he is getting in Blue Ocean. And Blue Ocean topic also inspiring me a lot. And Ina-san, Ina-san is there. And also, we interview like the Japanese company like Lawson and also SMBC in our column. They share lots of insights to our audience. It's really inspiring. And also, we really care about the diversity, equity, and also inclusions. We feature balanced gender representation, showcasing the women's impact on ESG. And they are from different sectors, like the investor, the lawyer, and also the scholars. They are all very with their beauty and also wisdoms. Innovatively, we conduct green relay part during the interview. Each guest is invited to bring their sustainable gift for next speakers. It is a tangible expression of ESG value and also our collective commitment to our greener futures. And in addition to the interview, the column regularly hosts like the ESG columns and organize ESG and sustainable development summits like today. And we also launched some young pioneer programs to further promote the ESG and also the ESG practice. And then let's move on to today's topic. Of course, the column is one of the commitment of NetEase to the ESG. And also the other Chinese companies contribute a lot in this topic. Let's share 3 typical examples. The first one comes from the GAC Honda. This one is about the China-Japan business partnership for marine sustainability advancement. It's from GAC Honda, which is a Japanese car brand and a Chinese car brand, collaborating with Guangdong Zhanjiang Mangrove National Natural Reserve Administration. It's also a good example of government enterprise collaboration. GAC Honda Automobile was established in 1908. It's a joint venture, jointly invested and operated by GAC and also Honda Motor and Honda China Investment. Their ratio is about 50%, 40%, and 10% representatively. It's a very typical Japanese-Chinese joint venture company. Actually, they are the speech I had shared by the previous speakers. We know that the critical role of the oceans, and also yesterday, Mr. Salaya and also Professor Leung talked about the oceans' role about the fixed the carbon and also the blue carbon ethers, and also it's very critical. Things. And GAC Honda and the administration also noticed these significant topics. Oceans are one of the Earth's largest carbon sink, one of the large carbon sinks, and 93% of carbon dioxide stored. And the mangrove ecosystem are nature's multi-toys for the climate, also biodiversity, and also coastal defense. Heavy restoration workload of mangrove forests required a broad social participation. Therefore, they create the full cycle of they create the full cycles. The first funding was provided by the GAC Honda, and then with the administration's scientific restoration, make sure the money will be used efficiently and also doing good by doing well, right? And after that, it turns to the CCER certification, which can be sold in the carbon market, which means the money, it can earn the money itself for the very beginning, they began to get some money and support the continued restoration. It builds a very full cycle of blue ocean carbon development model supporting a long period mangrove conservation. Inspiring outcomes are showed. 120 hectares area restored. Considering social participation are necessary. Therefore, GAC Honda leverage is 10 million customer network for low carbon awareness and also 40 million online views. Meanwhile, for GAC Honda, is corporate carbon neutrality target. Also, it's a very important target for Chinese government. It makes them pioneer in CCER-based mangrove carbon neutrality. And here are the second example comes from Alibaba, quite famous Chinese companies. This is an e-commerce platform. It's an example e-commerce platform empowers public participation in marine conservation. Alibaba Group is listed in Nasdaq and also Hong Kong Exchange. It's founded in 1999. It's a leading global technology company specializing in e-commerce and also the cloud computing and also the internet service. And for now we can see lots of Alipay around the export, Alipay logo, and also many shopping malls in Japan. Also, it extends its e-commerce business in Japan as Tao. So for now, the Japanese can buy something from Tao also. And for the famous e-commerce platform, through initiatives such as Goods for Good, Alibaba Foundation has developed a very good model for integrating business and public welfare in marine conservation and restoration. Like the pictures show there, the Anchor, lots of products of Anchor can be seen in Japan. And Anchor e-commerce shop donates over 18,000 until the June this year, supporting over 47 public welfare programs, such as supporting the eelgrass planting and also monitoring. Its key innovation lies in building the model that consumer can contribute marine conservation in their daily life without additional costs. They don't need to pay more, but they do something for the marine conservation. By engaging the e-commerce platform worth thousands of billions yuan, even smallest donation, maybe we just pay 1 yuan or something one times, but it aggregate into powerful force, generating the recurring donation into marine conservation efforts. It got a good ecosystem results like the 81.25% species increase in the restored areas and restoration of 300 square meters bowl coral was completed, such as amazing results like that. And in this case, we can learn that through the integrated marine conservation into daily consumption with the e-commerce platform Taobao, and also something like maybe the Amazon or other platform can do something like that. It do good in the building a sustainable business public welfare synergies. And also doing good by doing well. Scientific-based conservation is very important. Inspiring partner with International Union for Conservation of Nature to identify 36 marine key biodiversified area in China. And it got a social response by inspiring more than 15.55 million participants over 80,000 enterprises to actively engage in these marine protection topics. And last but not least, it offers a practical reference both across China and other global e-commerce platforms. And the last example comes from Blue Tea. a blue energy initiative powering the ocean conservation. It's a brand which also sold in Japan. Blue Tea offers very eco-friendly, innovative, and sustainable and reliable energy products, including the portable battery stations, home energy storage system, and commercial and industry energy storage system, and so on. And its product can be used in household backup power and the travel and outdoor adventures, emergency preparedness, and also professional outdoor use, which sell in Japan, and it got lots of good comments in the Japan's media and Japan's market, like the Molomas and My Best. Actually, for the ocean conservation, Blue Tea provides eco-friendly emergency power for the marine protection. Firstly, emergency response. It provides solar power stations for oil spill cleanups, wildlife rescue operations, and also the disaster relief. For example, we can see that the photo there. There was the flows happens in 2023 in Guangdong. More than 100 Blue Tea products is deployed in this float and replace the diesel generation with zero emission power. And the second is about the research support. The power over shell monitoring station and the e-tourism facilities really lead that kind of blue energy. Also, imagine this. What if natural disaster shakes and the power goes out? Therefore, in Japan, Blue Tea actually worked with the Sumitomo Insurance. And also, 200 emergency power station will be installed in Santama with 1 year. And future deployment will extend to like Tokyo, Osaka, and Kanagawa. This really play an important role to enhance the community disaster preparedness and preparedness capabilities. It's doing good. Later, we can see this kind of machine in Japan. And that's the case we showed in, we can see in the Chinese and Japan Future Ocean Sustainability Trends and Practice. And ladies and gentlemen, as we are here today, let's move forward, not with words, but with actions. And let's make a difference. Thank you. ありがとうございました.
Thank you, Ms. Mai, for your insightful reflections. It's truly heartening to observe companies increasingly embracing sustainability, driven by a genuine sense of purpose and accountability. We will now take a lunch break. Please enjoy your meal and take the opportunity to connect with your fellow guests. We will reconvene at 2 o'clock at the afternoon with more inspiring sessions. See you later.